script.
Shoemaker was just put on there, start a party. I just put on there, I said, I have one going, FYI. If not.
As we're taking a little intermission here and getting ready to have some fun. So while we have to sit here and chit chat there, Camaro Kid, who's your prediction for the race winner today? We definitely have a battle going on between SPGH Cyborg and ST6 Schoonemaker. But we cannot forget about Snag or Dad's Taxi Service because they had really good practice runs, and pretty much everybody has a contention to win this. But I would have to say those four are your top four drivers after looking at qualifying and practice. What's your thoughts on this? Who do you think is going to win today?
I'm sure Cyborg or ST6 will be in one of the three. A lot of these drivers I've never really raced with before, but I know Bottom might actually have a bit of a chance because a lot of the drivers go into the first turn and have some sort of mishap in the turn, and he might be able to go around that and be able to get up on the position. So nobody
right,
really...
and you got to also figure 2 minutes and 11 seconds, 2 minutes 15 seconds at hour and a half. That's 90 minutes. So you're talking a 40 an hour long race here. Who do you think has the longevity of it all?
I know Cyborg will probably have he has a lot of preparation for a lot of these longer races, and he has the mindset of being able to do all that and be able to get up on the other drivers. He can tune his cars to be able to do the longevity of the races.
Well, I'm going to take a short little minute-long intermission, and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Just go ahead and talk away. You're still being recorded, and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Shout out.
Okie dokie. For those of you who don't know, I am new to the whole broadcast thing. I'm also somewhat new to SPGH. I am probably one of the close to being the youngest drivers. I am good friend with Cyborg and One Bigger D. They kind of help me out on tips and all that. So I'd love to shout out Big D and Cyborg. Smoke, SPGH Smoke 14. I know he's fast in some things. I never really got to race with these cars or anything, so I don't know how they handle. I got to mess around for like 10 minutes right before the practice started for the race. So, I mean, I don't really know because I don't know a lot of these drivers. So, my prediction is Cyborg, I'm sure, is going to be in the top 3. Um, ST6 is probably gonna be right behind Cyborg, or might even be in front of him. Who knows? And then I'm probably guessing Dad's Taxi, or Snag being in the top three. I'm not quite sure on what order, but oop. Let's see if Big D is going to be.
And make sure you retire and spectate so you're not involved in the race there. And as they're putting their tunes in and their pit strategies, we have a minute and a half before this race starts.
That rain is really cooling off the track. I know in the
Coach Welter gave a signature speech and got everybody hyped and ready to represent. But the game ultimately came down to one final play.
qualifying, the track temperature was about like 78, 80 degrees, and let's hope that they can keep their tires warm if they were to spin out or anything.
Absolutely, and you know, the rain part, I wonder. I'm back with you, I think. My controller shut off for a second. So, with the rain coming in, I wonder if everybody's going to remember to put rain tires on, because, I mean, that is a race breaker there. And this will be a formation lap. So when they get going green, it will be one lap around the track. And now with the rev limiter and the start of the engine and that, they had to start their engines. It will be, see, if you don't have your rev limiter on or that, and you, what'd you call it? Take off too soon or speed before it goes green, you will get penalized. I think it's a 10-second penalty. So, I mean, and if you go too fast, they will disqualify you. I think you're allowed up to 3 miles an hour speeding over the limit. And the limit is 37 miles an hour as they go around this track. And we are in for an exciting race live here at the DTM series hosted by ST6 and D4C. And I would have to think you're right there on your predictions there, because I would have to say, like, it's going to be who wins this race is going to be the one that keeps it clean throughout the whole race. This race is definitely not won at the start of this race. And we're about ready to go green here. As they're about halfway around the track. And we got that little hairpin U-turn, and then they're going to sign. They're going to get ready to go at green here. As they're getting ready to go. And it does look like the Aviator was flagged out of the race. And they are green here with Cyborg taking the lead. Well, he is in the lead because he was in P1, right? But he did not get, he had a very good start as they come into this tricky first turn. And it does look like T6 went out. ST6 went out way wide, lost about 4 or 5 positions there. He's dropped back to 5th, and Cyborg takes out. Miner's in 2nd, and Dad is in 3rd. Gotham is in 4th. And you know, that was a pretty good prediction about people going wide on that first turn and Gotham taking positions. We'll have to take a look here, see if Gotham can keep it up, as he's running in 4th position right now. And Cyborg is taking
Got him
off.
already went off the track multiple times.
Right. Well, with the rain, it's kind of hard to control these cars. Cyborg and Dad and I don't know about ST6, is very experienced rain drivers. Completely different ball game to run in the rain, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Snack spun out. He's towards the back. He looks like he hit something and started to spin out. It looks like he can't keep the car gripped down to the track.
And as Cyborg has a dominant 3-second lead, and then Dad's taxi service is 4 seconds behind the leader. I'm going to keep it right here with the leader for right now, and then I'll scroll through the field.
It seems like Snack is having a very hard time with this car going around the track.
Yeah, Snag is all over the place, isn't he? And as I'm
Yeah.
looking at ST6, I wonder how much of that, I mean, he messed up in that first turn, but I mean, I don't think he's too worried about it right now because this is a very long race. We do have another hour and 20 minutes left on this race. Hour and 26 minutes. And as the track temperatures have went down a little bit, we're about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. As I'm looking for the battle for second place between Minear, Dad's Taxi, and ST6 Shoe. I mean, they are bunched. Are you watching this? And ST takes Dad and takes Miner and runs into Miner a little bit. Oh, and Miner retaliates, but Miner goes around. That was interesting that, you know, he got into him and it backfired on him, and Miner ended up going around as ST6 is now in second place, 5.1 seconds behind the leader, which is SBGH SBGH Cyborg. I almost said my name. I'm the leader. And Dad's taxi service retaliates and does look to the inside. What an exciting race. Are you watching this, Camaro? As Dad
I'm watching.
Go ahead.
As I was watching down, Snag already took his first pit stop, and I was watching the back group.
Yeah, Dad, like I said, Dad took second place back away from ST6 after ST6 aggressively took 2 positions there. Dad's now going down the straightaway, 6 seconds behind the leader as they're about ready to hit on the brakes and go into that sharp right turn. And ST6 is still all over him. We got an exciting race here for second place right now. And another one would be Smoke and Minear for 4th place. They are within seconds of each other, and it does look like Gotham slid off the track a little bit as we're going to jump back up here to second place battle as Smoke is having a rough time keeping his car. You know, a lot of these drivers are not used to running in this rain with that windshield wiper.
Our worlds are under attack. Now, the battle between light and dark will reach its epic conclusion.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Going back and forth does distract you a little bit, and as it does look like Snag is getting lapped. No,
Yeah, Snag already took his first pit stop.
That was
all
Gotham
that,
that
and he's
just
been, I
got
think,
lapped.
lapped a couple times.
And Dad has finally took second and is starting to pull away from ST6. He has about a 3 car length lead over 3rd place, which is about a 1.3 seconds, 1.5 seconds lead. And as we have another co-commentator coming in here right now, and that would be SVGH Rotostorm. And how are you doing today, Roto? We're doing good. We're just calling this race here at the DTM. You remember last week where we had a rain fest, wreck fest, and a blown engine fest. So far we are 7 minutes into this, and we have a couple drivers that are down a little bit, but for the most part we're having a very good run here. We have Cyborg in first place. Dad's Taxi is behind him by 4.9 seconds, which he has closed the gap. That used to be 6.5. Then we have ST6, 7 seconds behind the leader. Minear is 14 seconds, and then SBGH Smoke is rounding out the last car in the lead lap at 18 seconds. Then we have Gotham, which is 1 lap down, and Snag, which is, I believe, almost 2 laps down. Right, and I mean, even though you can't really see it, we do have Camaro Kid here right now calling this and watching it with me. But you're more than welcome to stay in this booth and call and talk. And I mean, even though you won't be able to call play-by-play, race-by-race action, you could still talk and give us your expertise. You know, being an upcoming star at SVGH, just made a switch from NASCAR heat over to cars and doing a wonderful job as a racer. You know, what's your predictions on today's race? Because you were Bronson last week and watching it with me. Who do you think's going to win today? Absolutely, and I would do the Twitch stream because the Twitch don't have as big of a delay as the YouTube. Okay. And what are you watching on right now there, Camaro Kid? What battle are you watching? I'm still watching second place, even though he has pulled a dominating 9 seconds away from ST6. And it does look like Snag is in the pits again. Who are you watching, and call a little bit of what you're seeing there, Camaro Kid?
I'm kind of going for Mioneer, Smoke, Got him, and Snack. I'm kind of going between them, watching the back of the pack. Our
Right,
Smoke and Mioneer have been battling back and forth. Mioneer spun out, so Smoke was able to get in front of him, but Mioneer must have a little bit more top end, and on the straightaway he pulled past him.
Right, and I do know this is Smoke's first time ever running in a rain race, so I imagine that does play somewhat into. But yeah, this was an exciting race here as well. We are racing for 4th place. Mioneer is pulling away a little bit, but Smoke is pushing that car, and you know, I do want to give a shout out to Smoke because he has not got a grid penalty today. And that's just an ongoing, like, right. Yeah, because last time, you know, and that's the thing, like, I know Cyborg going into this, blown an engine last week, and I raced with Cyborg for 3 years. I've never seen that man blow an engine. Go from 6th to 3rd, and the engine just gave out, of course, right? But he was a little leery, and his confidence was down, and same with, was what you're talking about with Smoke. And it seems like they've bounced back, and Smoke has really bounced back, and like I said, we gave him enough of a hard time about being grid. We were calling him grid all week, and I think he's wanting to prove, hey, you know what, I'm better than what I was. And as he does go off the racetrack a little bit, yeah, you did include your audio there, right? Okay. I didn't test here. Which I was having a little bit of issues with YouTube side of things today. I think I had all the technical difficulties settled before this race started. So if you are lagging a little bit on the YouTube side of things, I am sorry about that. I am aware that I'm having issues with YouTube, but we're still streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. So if the YouTube channel's not up to your liking, or if it's skipping frames, you can always look us up on twitch.tv/SBGamingH is our channel on Twitch. And the Twitch channel is doing really good right now. And as we go back to the race, it does look like Dad is pulled within 6 seconds, and Shu is making a way back up to second. So we're just gonna have to see. And you know, being an hour and a half long race, you know, I don't know about in the rain, but in dry conditions, these tires usually last about 20-25 laps. What's your prediction on the pit strategy today there, Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have cut out a little bit there. I don't know if you was asking Roto or not, D. But
Oh yeah, Roto. I was asking you.
I suspect you have to, when you're running in the rain, like the conditions these guys are running in tonight, and I believe most of this race is scheduled to be in the rain from what I've seen on the forecast. That being the case, I suspect these guys to run really cautiously. I don't see them using up a lot of tire wear, having a lot of tire wear on the tires. I suspect that, they only may change out tires maybe one time this race, just about midways, depending upon their fuel strategy. So, I suspect that the tire wear will be a little lower than normal, because you can't really drive the car as hard as you would being on slicks or in dry conditions. So, I suspect that, maybe one set.
The battle between light and dark will reach its epic conclusion.
Should be good to go.
Absolutely, and it does look like we still have a battle between 4th and 5th place position. Smoke was able to take it from Minear when you were talking. Minear went off the track a little bit, and Smoke is 3 seconds up on Minear, mid-near, and he is in 4th position now. I was talking about Smoke earlier, and Dad's Taxi Service has dropped back to like a 7-second deficit where he had it up to 5 seconds. So we're going to keep it here with Smoke and see how Smoke does for these next couple laps. Cyborg just has a dominating car, and as we do that, we're gonna jump up here to Cyborg and take a look at Cyborg, see how he's handling the car. And even after this rain goes away, because it is scheduled to, the rain is going to be leaving in probably about half an hour time. This track is still going to be wet, probably all the way throughout the race. So do they keep wet tires? Do they go to slicks? Because the race line will dry up, but the rest of the track will stay wet. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of tires these guys run after the rain stops.
Yeah, I would say, you'd almost have to keep those wets on. There's a lot of rainfall right now from what I'm seeing. There's a lot of puddles, and even if the race surface or the race line does dry out a little bit, one mistake out of that race line, and if you're on slicks, you're taking a really big chance. So I really think you're going to want to finish this race out on wet tires. I think it's just too risky putting slicks on, even if the rain does stop. So I suspect to see most of the field finish on wet tires.
And what's your thoughts on that same question there, Camaro Kid?
I've never really raced in the rain before. I'm gonna probably agree with Roto here, where even if you were put soft slicks on, you were to get out of your normal line, you wouldn't have a very good time with that car anymore.
There you hear it from our two commentators of what they think about the tire selection as this race goes on. And it does not look like the water is puddling up too much. It is in that first turn on the outside of the tracks. It does look like it's puddling a little bit, but as we're back here running with Cyborg, which is taken back up to a 12-second lead over Dad's Taxi at 12 seconds behind the leader, almost 13 seconds behind the leader, but he has a pretty stout-looking car there. And as we go back here to ST6 Shoe, and he struggled on that first turn. He got so far back because he went a little wide on that first turn, but you could never count this guy out. As we go back to Minear, which is taking fourth position back over Smoke at 40 seconds, and it does look like he's going to go in for pits in that number 4 car in fourth position, and that gives Smoke the opportunity to take fourth position back away from him because he's pitting. And I wonder if that's a scheduled pit being 20 minutes into this race, or because they've only ran about 8 laps on those tires. We'll have to keep an eye on him as we look at Smoke, which does look like his tires are going away as well. And then back here to Gotham in 6th position, which is 1:43 seconds behind the leader, and Snag, which is almost 4 minutes. Third place car, and see if he can catch Dad's Taxi. And Roto, who are you watching? Would you like to call what you're seeing there for a little bit?
Yeah, I can only see
and spun it around, and we're going to jump back here, and he is able to get it going, but with losing 8 seconds off second place driver. Now we're going to keep an eye on ST6, see if he can't run down that leader, because if he does get a second or 2 per lap, we still got at 50 minutes to go. We still have 25 laps in this race, and we'll have to see, the strategy as the rain is slowing down a little bit. We'll have to see what kind of tires they put on, when they pit, you know?
Yeah, see that little mishap that that Camaro kid had just mentioned between Cyborg and Minear, that costed Cyborg quite a bit of time. Looking at the lap time, that was a 2:23 lap. Schumacher ran a 2:20, so that was quite a bit of time right there lost for Cyborg, as that lead seems to be down under 33 seconds now. So, yeah, about 15 laps. If this gap keeps closing, we could have a race on our hands here, guys.
Yeah, which it says it's clearing, it's starting to go into heavy, but it is still raining, but it does look like the rain is clearing up a little bit right here. We got probably another 3-4 minutes of rain is what the Weather Channel is telling us. The radar Doppler is telling us that this rain is. And we'll scroll over here to our leader that was able to pass another lap traffic without no incident. And, Rolo, you were big on those lap times. Look at where Cyborg's lap times, almost as quick as he has ran today. He logged that last lap at 2:20.
Yeah.